2NURFM.com, a broadcast service of the University of Newcastle.
Time to look at the environment and us. We do that with the University of Newcastle's Professor Tim Roberts joining us. He's the director of the Tom Farrell Institute for the Environment. And I tell you what, you couldn't pick a better day to have a topic like this today, Tim.
That's for sure. I thought we'd talk about the reports that are coming out more and more frequently from the Bureau of Meteorology. And the Bureau of Meteorology, or BOM, it's easier to say BOM, actually has been putting out these special climate statements quite regularly. And they've put one out recently on the prolonged autumn heatwave for southeast Australia. So this is casting your mind back to March. And for mine, I can barely remember yesterday or the day before, let alone what happened in March. But if we have a look at what happened in March, we see that this was the third significant heatwave event since September 2012. So there was one in November, there was one in January, and the third one occurred in March. So we say to ourselves, well, I remember when I was at school, we used to sit in there, and if it had got to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, they'd send us home early, and we had heat waves. Well, apparently, if you look at the records, this March heatwave event was exceptional for its prolonged heat. So we saw 9 days above 32 degrees centigrade in Melbourne. There was a record that was broken. 11 days above 30 degrees centigrade at Mount Gambier in the bottom of South Australia. 6 days above 30 degrees centigrade at Launceston Airport. All of those were records that were broken. And Adelaide experienced 10 consecutive days above 32 degrees centigrade. And so these records were broken. Melbourne has 4 seasons in one day, as you know. Well, they had a nighttime temperature record where they had 7 consecutive nights above 20 degrees centigrade. So by the Bureau putting together this report, they're bringing to our attention that, in fact, things are happening. If we have a look at the average maximum temperatures for the first 12 days of March, they were 6.9 degrees centigrade above normal for Tasmania, 6.8 above normal for Victoria. And if we have a look at the sea surface temperatures in the Australian region, they were 0.5 degrees centigrade above normal, the warmest since records began in 1900. So that heat wave, if you thought March was hot, March was hot, and it broke a whole lot of records. And I guess the take-home message, Dave, is what do we infer from that about climate change and global warming? Well, if you look at if you look at the graphs, you'll see they go up and down over the years, but generally the trend is up. No one knows what's going to happen when the ice melts more in the North Pole and the South Pole. Nobody's quite sure what will happen. Will we get a gradual rise, or will we get a catastrophic, very sharp change in how the climate is changing? We don't know. But the records are there. I urge everybody to keep an eye on the Bureau of Meteorology website.
Now, Professor Tim, what about next Tuesday? What would you like to talk as our topic and some homework?
Yeah, I thought we'd just have a look at Melbourne. We gave Sydney a bit of a rap the other day, so let's have a look at how Melbourne itself is going carbon neutral. I'll bring that to your attention next week.
Now,
Thanks,
you love getting some feedback and email. If we'd like to send you an email, how do we get through to you?
tim.roberts@newcastle.edu.au. And certainly I must say that the number of emails has dropped. So please keep it coming through. Otherwise, I might be sacked from this position, Dave.
No, he loves it. Send an email if you like, tim.roberts@newcastle.edu.au. Thank you, Professor Tim.
Thanks, Dave.